Hey all, Todd here, and welcome back to another Wellness Talks brief. What is anxiety good for? Seems like I have a ton of anxiety and it never goes away. Is there something I can do to actually get rid of my anxiety? Want the answers to these questions? Then stick around. And if you like what I talk about in here, don't forget to like and to subscribe. So what is anxiety? Well, the quickest way to think about it, anxiety is that natural uncertainty that comes just by being alive. It's that uncertainty of what the future brings, and it's a motivator. It's getting us ready. It helps us to prepare for what we can see in our minds is coming or may be coming. And when it comes to anxiety, it's a future orientation. And it's something that's developed because we needed it as a species to develop. We needed to be prepared. So what's the function then of anxiety? Well, as I've just briefly described, it kind of gets us ready. If we were to go back 100,000 years ago and we were all walking out on the plains, some people who would have been extremely anxious, there would have been some people who were just, in the middle anxious, and there would have been people who were not anxious at all. And the chances are we would come across a cave. Now, the person that was overly anxious would never step inside and may not even go to the cave even after everybody was in there. Overly anxious, not a safe place to be. What if it collapses on us? And chances are they would continuously walk until they were eaten by a bear or didn't find the right kind of shelter, and that would have been the end of that line. And then on the other side, we would have had some folks who were not anxious at all, wouldn't have been alerted by anything, never would have paid attention to that lion or that tiger in the woods that took them out. And we are descendants of the people who were anxious enough to come up with different plans and ideas to keep ourselves safe, but not so anxious that we were paralyzed by it. But how, Todd, do we get rid of this? I don't want to have to deal with this. I don't want to have these sensations. And anxiety levels will go up and down depending on the complexity and events that are happening in your life. And if we were to actually give an average, so if 0, I have no anxiety at all, to 10, oh my God, Todd, I need to go to the hospital right now. What I've actually found and what research finds is that we typically fall about a 3, 2 or a 3 on average every single day. There's a certain level of tension or anxiety. And it's, in general, a decent motivator. Pay these bills, get to work on time, set the alarm, get up on time, eat right, make sure you eat it all, drink water, just mild pressure points throughout the entire day, making sure that we do the things that we need to do in order, once again, to keep ourselves alive, to keep ourselves engaged, and to make sure that we have the resources that we need. Now, there may be some larger event which happens and we'll bump up to a 5 or to a 6, but typically we can bring it back down with coping mechanisms, or that stimuli goes away, that event is complete, and we can feel ourselves move back down and stay at around a 3. Some people, it may get hyper-inflated and we might start to worry about it or fixate on it, especially if it undermined or took away some of the resources or things that we had built up along the way. And of course, that's where therapy or self-help books or a variety of different things can help you to bring it down. Going to church, with a priest, a rabbi, or a monk. Lots of different ways that we can approach this. But one of the things is just understanding what anxiety is truly all about. And coming to this final realization that the only people who have absolutely no anxiety whatsoever, they all reside at the top of my street near my house. At the top of the street there is a graveyard because only corpses have no anxiety. Just being alive means there's going to be a certain level of anxiety. Would you really want to give it up? Would you really want no anxiety after listening to what I've talked about? Some of the actual benefits of having anxiety, keeping us alive, giving us a direction, having us have goals, a need to belong, doing the things that we need to do to maintain a meaningful life. So just breathe and be present with the fact that anxiety, like breathing, is a necessity we have to have in order to truly be here, to truly have a meaningful life. And until the next time, may you be well.